Hello and welcome to This to You.
Hi, I'm Jenna.
And I am Adam. This is our first ever video. And excuse us if we're a little rusty.
Yes.
And or a
Nervous.
little bit amateur with this. We are trying to bring you content that we think is relevant to you going to Disney World and bringing children, right?
Yeah, and specifically children at the age of an infant. So we just recently came back from a vacation in February that we brought an 11-week-old, a 3.5-year-old, and a 7.5-year-old.
Yep.
And we didn't think we could do it in the beginning, but we managed and we survived. And what we did was basically listen to vloggers such as ourselves now and things on the internet. And I hope that we can educate you in learning what rides you can go on with an infant. So
exactly. So what we're going to tell you today is the best rides you can go on in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, we'll start with Magic Kingdom.
Right.
And I'm going to go off of their website with the rides that they have listed that allow you to take an infant. And I will let you know what our opinion was, because sometimes it's at your own discretion, what rides that you feel comfortable taking an infant on. Even though it says you can take an infant on, you might want to question some of the rides. I didn't have to do that often, but I just want to let you know, as my experience, that these were the rides that I felt the most comfortable with. And I'll also talk about the rides that I didn't feel so comfortable with when we took our 11-week-old. Also, as a disclaimer, or not a disclaimer, but a side note, I did have a harness that allowed our daughter, our 11-week-old, to sit comfortably on my chest with the harness. And it allowed me to obviously walk through the parks with ease and walk onto the rides with ease. And with the bar coming up, Disney did not ask me to take the harness off. They allowed,
thank God.
Yeah, because that would have been a pain. Because I know airlines ask you to do that. Disney does not, or at least at any of the theme parks that we went to, which would be Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios. And,
every single one of them. Yes.
Animal Kingdom. Yeah, that was the other one.
Yeah.
So, they allow you to wear the harness so that it secures your child comfortably with you and allows you to ride the ride with ease. So here we go. Number 1, Buzz Lightyear Space. And I'm going off of the Walt Disney World ride list at the Magic Kingdom.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so Buzz Lightyear. The only thing I would say is that if you're if you're very into gaming and you really want to win and you're like hitting the buttons and ready to...
Don't bring your kids. Just do it yourself. I mean, the kids get in the way.
Yeah, kids do get in the way, especially if you're holding on the chest. But
you're trying to get 1 million points and the kids get in the way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to hit her head, and she's just not doing that for me. But no, you got to be, as much as you want to be aggressive in the ride, like I am. I'm a huge gamer, and my husband is too. If you can't tell. You just have to be aware that you have a child if you're holding her, or if she's on the harness, that you just have to make sure that you're not hurting her when you're hitting the points on the ride. So yes, Buzz Lightyear, definitely a must to go on. And yes, I would totally agree with taking an infant on that. Number 2, we have Dumbo. Dumbo is a ride that is any height, any age that can go on this ride. Wouldn't you agree?
Kind of. I kind of agree. I kind of agree. Well, Dumbo is one of those rides where you go up and down, and you have the joystick where you can move it up and down, right?
Yeah.
Evidently, my 2-month-old is not good at the joystick.
Well,
she doesn't know how to do the joystick. So, yes, it's a ride that you can ride with any age of child, right? Mm-hmm. But you go from my youngest daughter, who doesn't know how to use a joystick, to my oldest daughter, who wants to put the joystick all the way down, so we're riding on the ground the whole time, right?
Yeah, that is annoying.
It is annoying. So, yes, depending on your child, this is not a bad ride. However, it's the same thing with Aladdin. It does go high if you allow it to. So there are children that don't like heights, and there are children that don't like the fact that you're spinning around in circles at a high altitude. So you have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, right, but I think
Yeah.
a 2-month-old probably wouldn't know the difference. So I would say that
Of course not, because she can't move the joystick.
I would say this is a safe ride and no discretion whatsoever.
Sure.
Haunted Mansion.
Oh, that's great, right? I love the Doom Buggy.
Yes,
Love
the
it.
Doom Buggy is a fan of ours. A fan of just experiencing
I
that
love
ride.
Doom Buggy, yeah.
And absolutely, there's no jerks, turns, or anything quick movement that would cause an infant to be scared, other than maybe. Well, actually, no. There really isn't any loud
Well,
noises.
The
in
worst
the
part
Haunted
about that
Mansion.
ride, when it comes to having an infant, is getting on the ride.
What
Because
would you say?
you have the moving, the you know, like the
Okay,
people
the
mover.
moving walker.
Yeah.
the walkway.
So
the
and
walkway.
you have the child.
So
in your,
the last thing you want to have to do is you don't want to trip. Yes.
No, exactly.
That would be
And-
bad. And
But on top of that, you're holding extra weight, right? You're holding extra weight, and you're getting onto the Doom Buggy,
Mhm.
right? So you have to time that right. But it's not just you timing that right; it's you with a baby.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing I have.
I know you worried about that, but I didn't so much
Yeah,
because
I mean,
it's moving slow enough to where you
I
can
guess.
you can walk comfortably and get on the ride comfortably. And I know that the ride monitors or God, what am I thinking of? The ride controllers.
they have a cool name. I'm sure it's like mouse monitors or
What is
something.
it?
It's something cool. I know it is.
But anyway, if they see you struggling, they're going to slow down the ride.
Right.
And it happens several times while we're on the ride.
And that's why you hear it. On
Yeah,
the ride.
it's basically telling you, oh, the ride stopped.
Yep.
And that's probably because someone in the back has not gotten on the ride correctly, or a small child has tripped and fallen and can't get on the ride.
We'll hope that's not the case. But yeah, yes.
So
They can't
it-
get on the ride or
but,
off the ride.
as an all general idea of taking an infant on the Haunted Mansion, there's no loud noises in the entire ride. It's some loud music, but nothing that's going to scare the child, especially an 11-week-old that's probably sleeping comfortably in your arms, and it would they would be fine. It would be fine. They
I
would be
think so.
fine. So, yeah. Haunted Mansion definitely is definitely a ride that you can take your infant on.
I agree. Mm,
My husband's favorite ride.
it's a headache in a ride.
Well,
It's a headache.
my husband, who just recently started his Disney adventure back in 2014,
Yes.
he wasn't so fond of Magic or Small World, being that
No.
he has no memory of it when he was younger. So it's just an annoying song and an annoying ride.
But even if I had it as
It's
a
nostalgic
memory
to
as a
me.
kid,
It's nostalgic to
it
me.
is.
So.
It gives me a headache. It gives me a headache.
But number 4, yes, definitely, you can take your kid, your 1 day old. You can take.
Yeah, really, you could.
On,
You could.
It's a small world, so
Yeah.
yes, we all know that as for sure. Next would be Jungle Cruise.
That's number what?
Number 5, Jungle
Number 5.
Cruise.
Jungle Cruise. Yes. Yeah.
So a disclaimer to this, when we took our 11-week-old, would be that there is a waterfall that does get you wet when you walk, the boat takes you through it. So if you shield your infant enough, chances are the baby won't get wet, but it possibly, it could happen. So, just be aware that if your baby doesn't like water, or if that's going to startle the baby, that could be a concern. But other than that, it's a very smooth ride with no concerns other than your baby might get wet.
The other concern I have too is keep in mind on a Jungle Cruise, their seating is limited, very limited. So they bring you on a Jungle Cruise and you're sitting in these bench seats all around the boat. So you're not going to be able to keep the baby in a carrier. You have to either hold the baby or have the strap on harness thing.
Which I highly recommend for any rides that you go on
yes.
at Disney World.
But you're not going to be able to put the baby next to you in a seat because there are many people that want those seats, right? So you're not going to be able to do that. So that is one thing that you have to keep in mind. Either have a harness like we had, or you're going to have to hold the baby. Now, I'm not sure you want to hold the baby the whole time. It's probably like, what, a 10-minute ride at least? Something like that? 10 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, probably close to 10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. So, keep in mind, if you want to hold the baby for 10 minutes on the ride, hold the baby for 10 minutes. If you don't, get one of those harnesses. It works really well, and you don't have to get.
I feel like we're selling the harness.
I mean, but we're not selling harnesses.
No,
but
just
what I'm trying to
it's
say is,
definitely it's definitely
Exactly.
something that I would highly recommend having when you go on these rides. Is a
Oh, yeah.
harness that because some of these rides do not have
lap belts, like
lap
lap
that
things.
would keep the baby where you can put her down,
Sure.
him or her down. Where you're in the boat, there's no lap belts, there's nothing there. You're just sitting on a boat, so you'd be holding the baby. So a harness is definitely a must.
Exactly.
Number 6, that would be, I just had it too. Looking at the list here, Mad Hatter Tea Party. So
Mad Hatter's Tea Party.
yeah, definitely a disclaimer. This is a ride that doesn't require any height requirement. So you are at your own discretion. If you are going with you and your partner and a few children, just as long as you're not spinning the ride, you're fine. But if you are going to be one of those that want to spin it, then I'm not going to recommend taking any age under 1 year old to go on that ride, because that would be pretty dangerous.
Don't feed your infant before going on this ride. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I mean, evidently the teacups go around in circles. Everybody knows that. And this is a very gentle ride
But
if you make it gentle.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to. You can go on the Mad Hatter's Tea Party and not spin the teacups, and
Sure.
you can just ride the ride, and then absolutely it would be safe.
Sure.
But you have that inner instinct to say, "Oh, I want to spin the wheel." Yeah, that can cause some issues.
It's like the point of the ride.
For you especially, because you'd be sick. So
I would be. But,
So next, number
7.
7, Magic Carpet Ride for Aladdin.
Now, I like this ride.
Yes, I enjoyed this ride a lot better than Dumbo.
Oh my gosh, yes. I thought this ride was when I first saw it, I thought, okay, here's another Dumbo ride, and you go up and down the hydraulics, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
When I got on it, and I was with Kira, our daughter, our 7-year-old. When I got on it, I was like, oh my gosh.
Does it feel faster?
It does, and it actually goes down like this. It goes.
You have
up
the
like
ability
this.
to do that
Yes,
too.
yes. I love
So
it.
the front part of the carpet ride, if you've never been on it, allows you to go up and down.
Yes.
And so the second part, the back seat of the carpet allows you to tilt.
Yes.
Or is it tilting left and right or forward and backward? I can't remember.
Oh, because it goes forward and backward, and it goes left and right, as far as I can tell.
Well, you go up and down.
We go up and down, but something makes you go. I think it's like a handle that makes you go forward or up.
So that has to be the back side, the back seat. So
Yes.
it allows you to go front and forward.
Exactly.
I think the ride is very thrilling, especially at our age. I enjoyed it a lot better than Dumbo.
I mean, especially for our kids. That was the best
and
thing. Yeah,
with a 7 and almost a 4-year-old, they enjoyed it immensely. But our 11-week-old had no problem with going on this as well, and I took her on it, and she didn't even wake up. So
that's the best thing. If they don't care,
if they don't care, and I didn't feel any danger to it, we were fine with that.
Cool.
So number 8, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. It's a dangerous ride.
Very dangerous. That Christopher Robin.
he's coming after you. No,
Yes,
definitely a ride you can take your infant on along with any other children
I agree.
with no worries.
No worries.
Number 9, Peter Pan's Flight.
This is a different one for a newborn, though.
It's still comfortable enough.
I mean, it's comfortable, but it's different.
There's
for newborn.
there's the lap belt that comes up. Again, they don't have any problem with you wearing the harness while you're holding a baby with the lap belt coming up.
Mhm.
And there's no twists or turns that are jerky or anything in the entire ride. I was comfortable bringing our daughter Ella on there, and you should too. There's really nothing that was concerning to me during that ride. So, number 10, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh,
Or Pirates of the Caribbean, however, wherever you are in the globe and how you pronounce it, we pronounce it Pirates of the Caribbean.
Caribbean, right?
Yeah, again, there is a drop, and I knew about it. I was aware of it. I love that ride. It's one of my favorite
Which
rides.
you have the hardest
It is
on.
my favorite ride. I have the hardest on. Again,
Yeah.
I have the hardest on.
Yeah, it's better.
There is a drop. Don't judge me. I did bring our 11-week-old on there, and she was fine. There's no age, no height requirement for that ride. So I said, okay, well, if Disney feels it's safe, I'll give it a wheel or a whirl. And yeah, it worked out fine. And she slept the entire ride, even through the drop,
She did.
the minimal drop that Pirates has. She slept through it, and she was fine.
Thank you for watching This You. This is our first video ever, so please excuse any sort of
Outtakes.
or anything we have. We have a lot of content to bring you, and I really appreciate you watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. If you don't, I'm very sorry, that we upset you tonight. But these are the best rides that we feel that you could ride in Magic Kingdom. And of course, there's other rides you could ride, and we just didn't bring them up because we didn't think they were the best rides for an infant. That's it. But again, we're going to bring you a lot of content. We have videos going to be up every single week. So please check out for more. Hit the notification bell if you want to see more. And thank you again for watching.